Welcome back to the Map for College learning community. My name is Ernest Manelli, founder of My Action Plan for College. And this video today will share some ideas about the importance of students exploring alumni and campus-based publications related to colleges and universities that they're considering. So when you think about the normal course of let's say the typical applicant does in terms of research, in the year 2022, a student will go onto the website, look at the materials, and of course, everything on the university's website is going to be some form of propaganda. Let's just face it, educational marketing, propaganda, smiling people, people of all different backgrounds getting along, everybody just having a great time. They're all inclusive. They want you to apply. They don't want you to feel judged. Nothing like the real world that we live in terms of the brutal realities of college admissions. But let that go. For now, just imagine that if that's the only information you're taking in, you're basically like a 1982 Soviet citizen reading Pravda, you know? So you're basically reading what the power structure wants you to read. Now, that's an important place to start. Don't get me wrong, because in all seriousness, university based websites do have tremendous options to explore through virtual tours, student testimonials. And the thing is, there are legitimate reasons for schools to promote their own programs because there are great things happening. I just want that to be one piece of the information puzzle for a student, for an applicant, for a family, because you need to have some sense of counterbalance. Now, what I'm going to recommend is also sort of part of that propaganda sphere of influence, but from a different point of view. So, for example, if you were to research a particular college or university and you went onto their website and you looked at their program offerings, you checked out academic departments of interest, possible extracurricular activities or clubs or groups you might want to join or at least explore when you get to college. You look into the admissions and financial aid details and the frequently asked questions page. All of that is great. All of that gets you a baseline of information. How many high school applicants look at, in many cases, alumni based publications? So if not the entire alumni magazine, then at least portions of articles from the alumni magazine will often be posted either through an independent link of its own or in conjunction with the university. So, for example, I'm a graduate of Harvard College, and every so often I get the alumni magazine, which is fabulous. I also go online to the Harvard Magazine website, and most, not all, but most of the information that I get in print is also publicly available to anyone who has a World Wide Web connection. So when you consider an alumni publication, in some cases, the Alumni Association is deeply integrated with the university. In some cases, a magazine might be loosely affiliated with the Alumni Association, but they might be independent as a publication. Like Harvard Magazine is technically an independent publication, but they rely heavily on information provided by the university as a whole. But you can see with the alumni publications what the college is promoting. In other words, whom are the professors being featured? What is the research being touted? Which programs of study are being highlighted? And if you look at what these multi-million dollar, in some cases, multi-billion dollar, learning institutions are promoting, what they promote is what they want to highlight in terms of attracting new talent. So looking at and reviewing not just the current edition, but maybe go back a few editions, maybe do a keyword search for something that would interest you. Try to do some degree of perusal, research, and reading background information. always educating yourself about what is being highlighted through the Alumni magazine. The same thing with certain campus publications. For example, there was a college that I was researching 2 years ago for a local student, and this student wanted to join a sailing program. And this student was wondering, there was a school down in the Carolinas, and she didn't know if they had a sailing program, but she knew that they didn't have sort of an NCAA sanctioned sailing program. But she just wanted to know, is there like a club or intramural sailing program? So the website that we checked out for the university itself was moderately helpful, but we also did a keyword search for that college and university on DuckDuckGo. And we put in certain keywords about that university and sailing and extracurriculars, intramurals. And we eventually did find a link to a student based club that was not really officially affiliated with the university, but it was just comprised of members of that school who had formed their own sailing association and formed their own nonprofit group and fundraising efforts for the sustainability of that program. And the thing is, we were able to put that student in touch with one of the student leaders, and they made a remarkable connection. And the student leaders actually followed up with me by email and by phone, and they were very enthusiastic. So if you're checking out a college or university, you want to check out any publicly available information. And what I encourage students to do is create a file, create whether it's a document. I prefer document based files. Some people prefer spreadsheets. That's not exactly my cup of tea, but if it works for you, go for it. Create some sort of information inventory in which you can make notes about different aspects of information. Maybe it's information you get from a phone call, from an informational interview, from an article you read, from something that was updated on a department level website about a certain professor and a course they're offering that really inspires you. So, my take home message for today is, by reviewing university, alumni, and campus based publications, you can determine even more levels of research based on your search for the right fit for you in terms of your future education. So once again, please feel free to like this video, subscribe to our growing YouTube channel, and we have more fabulous educational content to come. Thank you so much.